All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. I am so excited for you guys to be here with us. We have Taylor from corporate, and she is going to be sharing all things nutrition and science, all of your burning questions that you've had and you ask us all the time. And so we want to just help you and get those questions answered here. She has a degree in nutrition and science and is an Isagenix product education specialist. She's been with Isagenix for 5 years. She's worked with R&D and product development and writes for isagenixhealth.net. She does the nutrition podcast on isagenixpodcast.com, and she is a wealth of knowledge. So I'm so excited to have her here. We're going to jump right in and ask these questions and get them answered for you. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask in the chat below. But, we'll get to your questions as soon as we can. Just know that you have resources out there, that Isagenix is so great with as many resources as they can for you with isagenixhealth.net. It's an amazing blog that really answers every and all questions, and same with isagenixpodcast.com. So I'm so excited to have you, Taylor. So the first question that I have, and one of the reasons why I joined Isagenix 7 years ago, was the quality and the third-party testing that you guys have and your no compromise quality. So go ahead and share a little bit about that with us.
Of course. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to talk products. It's my favorite thing ever. And again, if we didn't get to any of your questions, you can always connect with me on Instagram. Reach out to me. Meredith knows how to get in touch with me, so no worries. But we're just here to answer your questions and make sure you're having the best experience with the products, because that's what we all want, as I'm drinking my shake. Okay, so quality. Yes, quality here is huge at Isagenix. It's really kind of the star of the show here, which always pains me to say because, I think I'm the star. But anyways, so our no compromise quality here at Isagenix is really, what created Isagenix. It's why it's so important to us here. John Anderson had that vision of creating a company where he could really be in control of the quality. So just to get started, so no compromise. So we have this great video on YouTube. It's called Science Behind 8 Steps to Safe and Pure Isagenix Health Products. I like it because it walks through all of the different testing that we have here at Isagenix, and it really lays it out in a visual way. When I first started here, I used to watch it like once a week just so I could really understand what we do here. It's a great, great resource and very, very shareable. But really just to get started, quality here. It's all voluntary. There's no law saying that we have to do this testing on our products. So what we do is our quality assurance team is constantly auditing our facilities to ensure that they're following good manufacturing practices, but more specifically our Isagenix no compromise quality processes, which are much more stringent than what the US specifically requires. So they're constantly auditing, constantly finding new manufacturers, even farmers to work with, family farmers all across the world, making sure that we're getting the highest in quality ingredient from wherever it grows in the world. So that's step one. Step two is before we accept it, before we acknowledge that that apple is an apple, we make sure that we test it. So all of our raw materials get tested for purity, potency, as well as safety, ensuring there's no residues, no heavy metals, anything like that, making sure that that apple really is an apple. We have a saying downstairs that until we test it and until we say it's an apple, it's not an apple. It's just something that showed up in our facility. So that's step one. Then it's put through our processes to make it into a product. It's tested again to ensure that through that process, it wasn't contaminated by anything, that nothing happened to that product or that ingredient to harm it in any way. And then we send it out for third-party testing to ensure that the label claims are accurate. So to ensure that there's 24 grams of protein in your product, to ensure that you're getting the right amount of B vitamins. All of that is voluntary, and it all is just working to ensure that when you enroll somebody or whenever you take a drink of your shake, you're getting the best shake possible. So that's our quality assurance practices. And it's really, really important to us here. And we're making a lot of steps in the future to make them more widely known and more accessible to everybody as well.
I love that. And I know from, I don't know if it was a podcast I listened to or whatever, but I know that that's really rare in this world, where there are other protein bars and protein this and whatever on the shelf that isn't actually truly what's in the product. And you're probably getting 5 grams of protein and then all of these fillers of whatever it is. And so I love that about Isagenix, that they really want to make, what's on the label is in the product.
Yeah, and that oftentimes means putting more of our really expensive ingredients in there just to ensure that when you have your shake at 2 years, you're getting everything in there. And that was actually, I think it was like a year or two ago, it was big in the news when a certain protein cookie was advocating that it had 30 grams of protein, but when it was sent out for testing, it was like less than 5 grams. So it's actually really important, and it's something, it costs us millions of dollars, and I mean, it really doesn't we don't directly get sales from it. So it's kind of just a really expensive thing we do to ensure that we're all getting the best quality product.
And that's why I put my name behind this. And I love it. So with that being said is, we get a lot of questions. You said that you guys test for heavy metals and things like that. Well, I live in California, and in California, we have Prop 65, and everyone gets so worked up and worried. And I was one of those people back 7 years ago. I was like, what is this? Why is it? Oh my gosh, there's lead in our products. Oh my gosh. And almost every person I enroll in California is like, excuse me, what? So, and I know Starbucks has the label. I know that Disneyland, everywhere you look, hospitals, it's always there in California. So go into that. And do we have lead in our products?
So of course, and I mean, I would never want to make that warning sound less scary, because the idea that I think it has something to, doesn't it say something about cancer on the warning? So like seeing that on a product you're about to consume, I totally understand the concern with it. I would be personally concerned. But when you really start learning about what this warning is, where it came from, and what it actually, what it actually means about that product, it's not really what it seems. So a few things to note is this Prop 65 warning does not mean that our products were tested and that there was any levels of lead found in them. It's not that California tested the product and thought that this product needed the warning. That's not the case. It's just because we have certain ingredients in our products, I have them written down here, such as protein, like our rice protein, a lot of our herbal ingredients, vegetables even, specifically green vegetables, green leafy vegetables, coffee, cocoa, and a lot of our other ingredients could potentially have, just because of their nature, the happenstance in nature, they could possibly be contaminated with heavy metals. So just because those ingredients are in a product, they have to have that warning on them. But that doesn't mean that that's in the product. So just to back up, we always test our ingredients to ensure that there's no heavy metals. Far below that all of our products have are far below what the government requires. So we are far below any sort of heavy level concerns whatsoever. That's never been an issue for us or anything we're concerned about. We constantly are testing for that. And we just want to let everybody know that that does not automatically mean that the product's unsafe, but it could potentially be, but we have these amazing quality steps in place to ensure that that's not happening to our ingredients. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. And it's funny because, I'll go voluntarily eat an In-N-Out, or I'll go to a restaurant and I'll get a salad. And I don't ask, is this organic? Where did you get it? Is it farm fresh? I mean, of course I would only want that. But
yeah.
It's funny like how we are so particular just because this is in a package, and just because this does come with that warning, which everything does in California, but I just love the quality assurance and how much rigorous testing you guys have done. And to note that you guys didn't have dairy-free shakes for a long time because the quality didn't hit your standards.
Yeah, we had to completely cut ties with our manufacturer, our supplier, of our pea protein. It was a whole ordeal here. It was not a fun week at Isagenix headquarters. It was very frustrating because we were just trying to make sure that our products were of the quality that, we promise that we want to feed our families. Because that's something I don't think people realize is we are all here using these products, giving them to our families. Our product developers and quality assurance members, I used to sit next to them, and they're product hoarders. They have more product than anybody I've ever seen. And they're the ones getting the spec sheets of exactly what's in our products, what they look like, how they're made, where the ingredient comes from. So I just love seeing that too, personally, just being in the building. But yeah, so we're always willing to eat the product, eat the cost of it is what I mean. So to take a loss and throw that product out if it doesn't meet our standards, unfortunately, that means that it might go out of stock, but we're working to put different things in place to ensure that we have backups ready to go. So that's just something we're doing to ensure that doesn't happen again.
And I love that. And it's like, I'd rather you guys send that away so that we get the highest quality. So
can you imagine you enroll somebody and their first shake they got didn't taste good? I tasted it. It did not taste good. And can you imagine if that's what you enrolled somebody with? That would be terrible.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, but that leads to my next question too, is like the peer reviews. So I know at Isagenix, you guys have tons of peer review studies. So kind of go into that, and that we know that not everyone does this and they actually opt out of doing them.
Yeah, so I think Dr. Plank, he was just recently talking about this. And I just had Dr. Messina on a podcast. I don't think it's posted yet, but it will be within the next week. But Dr. Messina is a member of our scientific advisory board, and he was just talking too about how the research that we've done into our products, the length of time that they've been done for over a year long, ensuring safety, efficacy, as well as long-term maintenance. Anybody can lose weight, but it's really keeping that healthy lifestyle long-term is what's so important. So Isagenix has invested millions of dollars, and we still are. We have tons of studies going on right now that we're hoping to hear the results on. But it's really, really cool. That's what drew so many science-minded people to Isagenix. That's why we have a whole department of scientists downstairs, is because of this commitment to research. We're not just jumping on the next shiny thing and producing a product to suit it. We're always making sure that we're credible and evidence driven with anything that we do. And that really comes from our research. So something about that research is it's peer reviewed clinical research. It is published in peer reviewed scientific journals. They're very rigorous. So that means that other scientists or experts in that area actually look at the study, look at the design, look for any flaws, just make sure that the design was done properly, and make sure that it's duplicatable so that we didn't do something sketchy here to make our results look good. We actually have nothing to do with the study design or the actual carrying out of our studies. They're all done at either universities or third-party labs, and then they are published in peer-reviewed journals. And I was telling Meredith before this, it can be actually kind of scary because a lot of the times we don't know the results before they're published for the world to see, and especially the scientific community to see. So sometimes it can be a little scary, but so far we've never had a negative result or anything like that. So that's always been pretty positive for us. But that's just something we do to ensure that you're getting the best quality product and it's safe long-term for you.
I love that. And I don't know how many peer-reviewed journals or whatever we're in, but I think it's a lot.
Yeah, I think if you go to isagenixhealth.net, the research tab, we actually connect to all of the white papers. So all of the different actual journals where the researchers actually completely wrote it all. We didn't write that. So I think it's 5 different white papers we have right now, with more to come. We're doing more product-specific testing right now just to ensure that all of our different products are effective. So it's pretty cool to see, and we have a lot of fun stuff coming down the line.
That's so fun. I love learning all that. And with the product testing, if it actually works, let's kind of talk about, so I've been with Isagenix for 7 years. You've been for 5, and I think it's been around for 17. So we were the ones who first started this intermittent fasting fad that is now super in. So the Isagenix products obviously work because in my life I have a transformation. But I wanted to talk about, why we're supposed to supplement, how the intermittent fasting, the way that we do it, why it works so well. Maybe go into that, why should I supplement this food into my life? I eat healthy, I eat keto, or I eat Whole30 paleo. I don't know. Why do I need supplementation in my life?
Well, not to keep promoting other things, but this podcast that I'll post, I think next week, I'll share it with you, with Dr. Messina. He really tackles this question from a physician's standpoint. So I would definitely listen to that. But from my perspective, my personal story, so my mom has been using the products for over 10 years. And when I was in school, getting my degree in nutrition, I was taught that whole foods are all you need. You only need whole foods to lead a healthy diet. And that's totally true. We are not advocating against whole foods here. I eat more whole foods than anybody. But and a lot of people I find once they start an Isagenix system, they're actually eating more often throughout the day because they're learning how to snack, they're eating how to properly portion control their food. But I digress. So my mom was using the products. I heard she was cleansing, and honestly I harassed her about it. I was like, that's so terrible. You don't need these products. This is terrible. And I was actually showed isagenixhealth.net. And I saw, the references that I'm used to as a science-minded individual. I just started learning, about the science behind intermittent fasting. And the rest is kind of history. But so Isagenix has been doing intermittent fasting since 2002. And we really are the pioneers kind of in this industry in intermittent fasting. There's so much good research showing that fasting is important for, brain health, our cellular cleansing processes known as autophagy, our gut health. There's so many different functions, healthy aging even. There's a lot of research in more graceful aging with, intermittent fasting as a part of a regular lifestyle. There's so many great reasons to fast. And we kind of look at, weight loss as kind of just a happy side effect. So we've been doing it since 2002, and that's kind of the way it works. We were in some of the first research in intermittent fasting with Krista Verity, and we subscribe to whole day fasting here at Isagenix. So there's a lot of different ways to do intermittent fasting. There's no set term for intermittent fasting. It's just any protocol that goes through periods of eating with periods of not eating. So here at Isagenix, our 1 or 2 day cleanses, and those are just intermittent fasting days with nutritional support through our cleanse day tools. There's a lot of different ways you can do it. The 16-8 is pretty popular right now. There's even an every other day diet that's also pretty popular. There's a lot of different ways to do it. And there's a lot of good research behind a lot of them. And a lot of them can support weight loss, but we really love this full day fasting because of all the research into it. I've been talking to one of my people I sit next to. She does 16-8 with her Isagenix products. So she just, limits the number of hours she's eating each day. And that really helped her get past her late night snacking. Kind of putting a set time limit she had to get all of her food in through this one period has helped her eliminate that and therefore lose weight. So there's a lot of different ways to do it. We've been doing it since 2002. Hoorah.
Yeah, love it. And for people who are doing Whole30 and saying I need to eat raw foods and stuff, wouldn't you say that Isagenix just fills in those gaps? So I had a call yesterday and she was like, yeah, I just don't know. I'm super skeptical. Why would I need a shake? Why would I need these? I don't understand. What do you mean minerals? Why do our kids need it? I don't get it.
Of course. Yeah. I kind of missed that. So that whole story with my mom was to get to the point where I finally started opening my eyes and realizing that just because that there is a space in a healthy lifestyle for supplements. We all live such fast on-the-go lifestyles. I love cooking. I love cooking so much, but I could never meal prep 3 times a day. I just couldn't do it. It's expensive. It takes a lot of time. And it's just a lot of work, honestly. So that's one thing. So just having this convenient support of our isolate shakes, you know exactly what you're getting in them. If you do macros, whatever you do, you know what the macros are. It's so easy to plug in. It kind of just takes all the guesswork out of consumption throughout the day. One of my friends was going through her master's work in nutrition who works here, and she got in a debate with her class. She was like, no, there is a space in a healthy lifestyle for supplements. There's such room for it. We should always be eating, a good source of fruits and vegetables, a healthy diet, but alongside that, there's always a space for help. And there's a lot of good research into the need for different herbs and phytonutrients. Dr. Plant did a great live last night all about that. But these different extracts and plant ingredients that we're not getting in our diet. I didn't eat turmeric yesterday. I didn't eat ashwagandha yesterday. I didn't eat rhodiola. I have no idea where I even get those ingredients in a diet. Honestly, I don't even want to know. But I don't eat those ingredients in my diet. And so without Isagenix, without these supplements like Cleanse for Life, Ionix, Isagenesis, we wouldn't be getting a lot of these really cool antioxidant-rich ingredients in our diet. And just with Isagenix, you're able to get those. They're good quality and in proper doses as well. So that's what makes it really cool.
Well, and that's what I love about it. It's a proper doses. So I would have to eat so much meat or so much spinach in order to get the right amount that my body needs. And especially back in the day, 50 years ago, one bowl of spinach is so different than the amount of iron or whatever in the spinach. Today you'd have to eat 50 bowls. I think it was UCLA's study. And so just the supplementation is so critical. And that kind of leads me into our kids smoothie is our children, I think you might know better than me, but our children are not supposed to live as long as we are because the minerals that they're lacking in the soil. So why don't you kind of go into why are kids smoothies so incredible and maybe the comparison between some things, kid smoothie versus cereals and stuff?
Sure, yeah. And I would bring up too, I mean, obesity is such a problem. And these aren't the solution for obesity or the cure for obesity or anything like that. These are just a good nutritional boost. But helping our kids learn how to have a nutritious lifestyle, lean on different sources of support through these amazing products or amazing, supplements is really important. I was just working with our sales team to create some materials about the importance of teaching our kids the importance of healthy eating at a young age. And there's so much research showing that what you grow up with, what you learn, it really becomes innate. So if you're exposed to a lot of different foods, if you're used to trying new things, if you're used to being involved in the kitchen and knowing where your food comes from, it really sets you up for a better future, both in the way you feel, as well as, in the way that, physiologically your health as well. So it's really, really important. So our Isagenix smoothies, I have some notes on those. Okay, so our Isagenix smoothies, they are amazing. So they have 22 essential vitamins and minerals, specifically a good source of iron. That's really important. In our isolene shakes, we don't provide that much iron because most adults are getting more than they need. Also, there's a lot of conditions where people shouldn't be consuming a lot of iron. So that's a reason for that. But in our Isagenix super smoothies, we wanted to make sure that these little growing bodies were getting a good amount of iron. All kids need iron. So that's why those are in there. Calcium, fiber, you're getting a lot of good nutrition in these Isagenix shakes. There's fresh fruit and vegetable ingredients and 10 grams of protein. And something we were talking about earlier with the age recommendations, it's for these Isagenix super smoothies were designed for kids 4 to 12. So that's really what that age was specifically set on. And we looked at the daily values and the nutritional needs of those children and made sure that we were matching all of those. Most parents are giving their kids isolene shakes right now. That's totally cool. Keep doing it if that's what they like. These are just a different option. So you know that they're getting everything they need. And they're a little bit sweeter. They have some really cool inclusions. So our strawberry super smoothies have little bits of strawberry in them. The cookie ones have little bits of cookie. They're really, really, really good. What else did you ask me to talk about? Sorry.
Well, it's totally fine. My daughter loves the shakes. Like, she's obsessed.
Yes.
Yeah. So just, being able to supplement our children because they don't really know, but I was going to kind of lead into this because of the kids super smoothies. They're so incredible. My daughter's having 2 a day. She loves them. Like, she's been drinking these since she was 9 months old. So like, this is just like a part of her life, like you were saying. But eating different foods, so picky eaters. So the greens, especially the new organic greens, it says 4 and up, and I'm so excited about them because my kids have drank the other greens. But in the best way to use this is like to hide it in the food, hide it in the smoothies. And so what I was asking you before with both, we can kind of bounce off, but the amount of sugar that's in the smoothies. Yeah. So kind of give us some comparisons with these.
Yeah. Okay. I don't have the amount of sugar in the shakes with me right now. I
think I know. I think it's 8 grams. I think it's 8 grams in the shake. But last night I was like, I'm just going to like mess around in my kitchen and find, some different things. And so my kids love the Cheerios from Trader Joe's, and there are 11 grams I think it's 11 grams of sugar in those. And then I was looking at their little, it was like a peanut butter, granola bar. And I think there was 12 grams of sugar in there. And then their little like squeezy pouchy, it's all like, applesauce and like a little bit of, I think it was strawberries in that one. And it was like 14 grams. And we just don't realize, it's fruit, it's fructose, which we use in our shakes.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you want to go into that a little bit, you can.
Yeah, and so a couple things too to note. So kids have a higher need for healthy fats as well as good carbohydrates. So they do need a good source of carbohydrates, but we just want to make sure that we're getting targeted amounts, I think that's a big issue. When we were kind of looking at what we could do for kids, what we were looking at is the different snacking options that are available to children. I love kid snacks because they're so unhealthy. Like Cheez-Its, Goldfish, fruit snacks. I love them all because they're so good. But the problem with all all of these options that we're forcing on our kids, that's the only option for our kids, is that, you know, they're high amounts of sugar, they're rich with saturated fats, you know, really unhealthy sorts of fats. They're not getting good source of protein, fiber, any micronutrient intake in any of those I mentioned. Even in healthy snacks, when we look at some of those, we have in the Isagenix toolkit for all the products at Celebration, we have some great comparisons. And it just kind of looks at, even in healthy snacks, you're really not getting a good source of protein, fiber, vitamins and minerals, as well as carbohydrates like you are in these smoothies. So they're totally just a complete balance option to provide nutrition to your kids. And I've been around kids. I was a nanny for all of college, and kids are always hungry, and finding something for them that they actually will consume is tough. And so this is just a great option. You just shake it up, blend it, whatever it is, and you know they're getting good nutrition. So it's kind of an easy mom win to make sure that your kids are you know, safe with what they're consuming throughout the day.
Yeah, it just gives you ease and peace of mind. And especially with the new greens, it's a full 2 servings of veggies. So I don't actually know, is it supposed to be like 4 servings a day that like you're supposed to get, or?
Yeah, so we can talk about the greens. So our new organic greens are so cool. So you're supposed to get about 5 servings of vegetables each day. So a serving of vegetables is about a cup. So a cup of leafy greens, a cup of kale is a serving. So we actually have the equivalent of that in 1 scoop of our Isagenix greens. So there's a full cup of spinach and a full cup of kale in each scoop of Isagenix or the new organic greens, plus so many cool superfood ingredients like organic sweet potato, organic spirulina, which is a really cool ingredient if you look up, organic broccoli. There's just so many cool ingredients, and they're all organic, just jam-packed. When you open it, it like looks healthy, it smells healthy. I've been putting it in juices with amped hydrate. Lemon and orange is so good. That's a great one for kids. It's just a great option. It's 2 full servings of vegetables. There's research showing most Americans only get 1.6 servings each day. So if you have Isagenix greens, you're doing better than most of America, and that always makes you feel good.
Yeah, and I think, isn't it like most of that is usually potatoes in their diet?
Yeah.
Well, that brings up a question too. So, you know, they weren't labeled organic before, the old greens. These new greens are labeled organic. So I know that Isagenix like they exceed USDA standards, and sometimes they beat out what the organic standards are. So with these ones, they're organic, but they are still the higher, right?
So let's talk about that. So we've been doing a lot of work to make sure that we're providing what people want. So I think in the future, you'll see more low sugar options. You'll see more of this, you know, seals of quality, whatever that may be. So in the past, you know, we've never relied on those standards like USDA organic to completely certify and ensure that our products are safe and effective, because really all that is the farming practices. So a lot of times when we were looking for organic ingredients, we still do for all of our products, but when we were specifically only looking for those and not looking at any other quality measures, the ingredients that were coming into our labs were dirty. They did not meet our standards, and we had to reject them. So that's why we really just started focusing on the overall quality, the sourcing, where it's coming from, and things like that. USDA is pretty expensive. You have to pay for that certification. And all it ensures is the farming practices. And we already test for any residues of any kind of pesticides, herbicides, or anything like that. So we're already covering that. But we know that specifically green leafy vegetables are a cause for concern for a lot of consumers with pesticides. I know they're always on the dirty dozen list. They are constantly in the spotlight for having these heavy metal or pesticide residues on them. So we just wanted to give our consumers, even new consumers who aren't affiliated with Isagenix, just, you know, that second level of assurance that these products are safe and effective, 100% non-GMO. You know, they have that symbol of USDA organic, just because we know that's what people are looking for when it comes to green leafy vegetables that are so possibly contaminated by herbicides and pesticides. So that's why we did it with this one. Still same quality, you know, we still do our testing way beyond theirs, but that's why we did it.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Such peace of mind. It's my favorite.
Yeah.
So, and with that, you know, I kind of want to go into, well, I was going to ask you before, but I was like with keto, I just kind of want to hear your thoughts on keto.
Oh yeah, okay.
And
I guess I didn't talk about Whole30 or keto or anything like
yeah,
that.
I just want to hear your thoughts. And you guys, you have to go follow Taylor on Instagram because she
Yeah.
really does food blog. Like her food and her recipes are incredible. So when I say, like, when she says she does like to cook, she does. And she's really good at it. So go grab her recipes. But with that said, like, why don't you just give me your thoughts? Just what do you think about keto? What do you think about Whole30?
Yeah, and so what I'm trying to do on my Instagram is make sure that all of the foods I'm posting are Isagenix approved. You know, they're 400 to 600 calorie meals, 100 to 200 calorie snacks, something that you can actually incorporate with your team to make sure that, you know, I'm not posting, you know, pictures of, you know, enchiladas every day and, you know, telling you this is great. So it's really working to fit with your shake day. But yeah, so there's so many different diets out there. My brother-in-law actually just finished his Whole30 30 days. He lost so much weight. He looks amazing. And the thing with all of these different diets is they all are great. They all help people lose weight. Anytime you're restricting calories or looking at what you're consuming and eliminating certain things, you'll lose weight. They're all effective. They all work. But none of them really have been shown. Like, I think there's a stat that people will try 4 different diets this year. The average American will try 4 different diets to try and find something that works. And while all these things can help us lose weight just simply because they're helping us reduce calories, people are still looking for something that they can incorporate into a lifestyle. Keto specifically, I was reading a report that the average compliance time for somebody who goes on a keto diet is less than 6 months. That is not a lifestyle solution. A lot of the times with these diets like Whole30, I think it's great. You know, I'm not here to bash any diet, but when it's so restrictive, when it is so eliminating whole food groups, like I think healthy food groups are eliminated, like beans, legumes, whole grains, that's something that as a nutritionist I have a problem with because those are such good sources of good nutrition. So just anytime things are way too restrictive, it's just hard to include into a lifestyle. So instead of looking at Isagenix as a diet, I always recommend that people look at the products as tools. So whatever works best for you. So I know my aunt, she loves being on a lower carb diet. That is how her body functions best. So she can use the products to help as tools to help her have a lower carb diet as a lifestyle. Does that make sense? So looking at these as tools instead of, you know, a rigid system that you have to follow to a T. While I love going back to a rigid 30 day, I think it's the best way to jumpstart any, you know, any healthy change. These are really just tools that can help you support a healthy lifestyle. We have the research showing, you know, that people who were on an Isagenix system, they were able to maintain and lose their weight loss for over a year. And that is just so cool to see. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can still see you.
Okay, sorry. I just got locked out of my computer.
Oh, you're totally fine. So, well, I'll just, while you're figuring that out, I was going to say, you know, the thing about Isagenix, 7 years of me putting this in my body, 7 years of being able to travel with it. It's been the constant in my life because I came from eating Taco Bell and ice cream like as much as I could because I needed fast, convenient things as a busy mom. And so I know this has just been that thing that can be that tool. I love what you said. And certain people, like with their bodies, maybe they cannot handle dairy, and it's so great that we have the vegan options because their body responds better that way. And I just love what you said. It's just like there's certain things in the Isagenix system that you can use as an amazing tool to help you have the lifestyle. It is with maintenance. It is not, it really frustrates me when people say this is a weight loss company. That is the happy benefit that you said. It's not everything. It's something that happens. But
no, I totally agree. I love it so much. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, sorry. No, I love it so much. It is so, and when you really stop and looking at this as a 30-day system and more as a healthy lifestyle change and finding the products that work for you, I think the customization of all of our different products is so important too. Like if you have high cholesterol, we have a heart shake booster. If you're worried about stress, we have Ionic Supreme. If you like working out, we have all of these different, you know, AMP products that can really help support your goals. There's just really no area we haven't hit. We have essential oils, you know, we have everything. It's just a really cool, complete system that I just love so much.
Yeah, and I think it's finding out what you need, and I love the jump start thing. We're doing an 11-day challenge coming up because it's jump starting you, but that doesn't mean, so in that time, we're going to be pretty rigid, but I still love pizza. I still love tacos. And honestly, and maybe you can touch on this if you'd like, I have been using the probiotic every single morning. I take one probiotic and I eat 4 Isagenix. That's my morning. and then, but when I eat my meal, like, especially if it has corn in it, especially if it, like, any kind of, not necessarily carb, because like cauliflower, anything like that, beans, I have to have that digestive enzyme. I have to. Like, I am not okay if I don't.
No, I totally agree. When we were coming out with these products, we were constantly putting them to the test. So we went to like Indian buffets once a week just to make sure that they were actually providing all of the different enzymes that our body really needed to help digest foods. And while I like talking about them, you know, to be able to eat more foods of the foods I like, it's also been really helpful for a lot of people who can't eat a lot of those healthy foods. So there's a lot of people who struggle to digest broccoli or legumes or Brussels sprouts or whatever these different healthy foods are. They stay away from them because of how it makes their body feel. And so it's really been able to help a lot of people eat a more varied diet, eat more of the foods they love, you know, have less anxiety when eating out because they have this support to help them, you know, digest their meal and not have some of those uncomfortable symptoms that often come, you know, with eating new foods.
Well, and that was me. Like, I was like, I'm not going to eat that because I know that salad is going to mess me up. So it's just if you guys have not tried those, and there's a whole vegetarian line and then there's a conventional line, try those. I do want to get into this because I know you mentioned that you are getting questions out crazy on this product that's coming out very, very soon. We did get this product at Celebration. Canada has the product. Kathy Coover is so fired up about this product specifically, and it is called the Try Release. I want to know why it's so incredible. I want to know how to use it and who should use it, and just give me like all of the questions that you've received, kind of, if you can answer those with this Try Release, because people need this in their life, and tell us why.
Okay, yeah. So that's the thing. So we really were not supposed to launch this product for a little while. But Kathy Coover is so passionate about this product. She's somebody who personally finds a lot of benefit from going lower carb. And so she just loves the way that this product is designed. I love it because of the taste. So one thing to note is I think you might be seeing this product in about a week's time. I don't know, maybe a month. I don't know, pretty soon. So just a little hint there, but this is an amazing product. It's a premium performance protein. So if you're somebody who works out at all, this is for you. I would use it after your workout. It is creamy. It is delicious. The flavor is unlike any other product we've ever created. The technology we're using with our flavors is beyond anything. It really, really tastes good. I don't even like vanilla, and I love our vanilla custard. It is so, so good. But even if you don't work out, this is just a really high quality protein. It has 3 different sources of protein to really elongate that time that you're stimulating muscle protein synthesis, or, you know, keeping your metabolism going. It's whey a milk protein that's really rich in casein, as well as egg white protein. So it's a 3-stage release. I would use it in the bedtime belly buster, just because, you know, a lot of the research in pre-sleep protein is in casein. So we have that in our product. So it's really going to keep your furnace burning while you sleep. I'll share this recipe, but I have been making it into a frosty at night, and it is amazing. So that's how I've been using it. It's just an amazing, delicious, great source of protein, 25 grams of protein. I can't say, I put it in coffee. I mean, there's literally no wrong way to use this product. It is amazing, just premium protein product.
Yeah, I've been seeing your stories, and you mix it with your cold brew, and I was like, that is genius. And then I was telling you too, my girlfriend, she works at CrossFit. She's a crazy beast in the gym, and she's loving it after her workout in almond milk with her high carb. She needs carbs to fit her macros, so she has a high carb cereal that has no sugar in it. So it's super low in sugar, it's like no sugar, right? And like no carb. It's really low in that. So great for belly buster.
And it even says on the label that it is keto friendly. So that's one of the coolest parts about it. If you have somebody who's that keto person, that might be a great product to introduce them to first. And I can't say too much, but we have a lot of really cool AMP products coming too. So if you have somebody who likes to work out, I would say in less than a month, there is going to be some really, really cool launches. I would stick to Facebook because there's going to be some really cool stuff coming. And it's just really exciting. We have a really exciting couple months coming up. It is like a whirlwind here. Dr. Plant has products coming out like never before in my whole life. So it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, I was told by you that it's like every day you try 5 things. Like there's 5 things every day or more that you're testing.
Yeah. So we have more products coming out in this next 6 months than I think we did in like the last 2 years or something like that. So it's really exciting.
Oh,
it's a fun time to be here.
Yeah, so exciting and so fun. I just want to say thank you so much, Taylor, for taking the time out of your day to spend with us. You are such a gem. There was a Facebook group that you mentioned. What is it called?
Oh, yeah. So I am the admin of the official Isagenix Health and Wellness Facebook group. I am IsaDoc. So if you're ever asking questions in there, it's probably me that's answering them. Sometimes they get a little lost just because I think we have 60,000 people in that group. So again, finding me on Instagram, taylormalham.isagenix. You can always shoot me a direct message there. It might take me a day or 2 to get back to you. It's often because I'm asking somebody to make sure my answer is correct. That's typically what it is. I just never want to give the wrong answers. I'm always like double checking with as many people as I can ask. So that's a great way too, just to have a direct line to me. But yeah, that official Isagenix Health and Wellness Facebook group is great. We're going to be doing a lot of Facebook Lives in there, as well as on our main page, with these new products that are coming, just so that everybody makes sure they're getting all of the information they need and are, ready to talk about and use these products.
Right. I love that. And if you guys are watching this and you are kind of on the fence and you're like, listen, I don't know, I'm super skeptical and whatever, maybe you've had a shake in your life before from another company and you're super scared. Here's the thing. Isagenix is no risk. You can try it. And I love Dr. Messina's story because listen to his podcast that's coming out soon because he was someone who is out to shut Isagenix down. Yes, he wanted to prove that it was a scam, that it was about money, and he proved himself wrong. And he calls himself a recovering doctor. So I think it's so important to put the products in your life, try them, see what they're going to do for you. I told this woman who's doing Whole30, she was like, well, I just don't know. And I was like, you know what? I just challenge you to just try it because a lot of people who are doing Whole30 are lacking the minerals and it's like that lights you up with the energy in Isagenix. So,
totally.
You need those minerals. You need that to fill in the gaps for your groceries. So put this to the test. If you don't like it, get your money back. But we really, really know. Well, we stand behind it. So we're so excited for you to give it a try, or if you've been doing this forever, tag your friends and family in this recording. And we're so excited for you to just fall in love with these products and your kids to have the new shape. So yes, thank you, Taylor. We so appreciate you.
Yes, and we're always here to help you guys. We just want you to have the best experience. We believe these products can really help change your life in the best way possible. So we're really just happy to be here.
I just think it's really cool that a company would get on a call with an associate, talk about this health and wellness. Like, it's just crazy that you'd even take the time to do that. So we just thank you so much.
Of course. That's literally what I'm here for.
I love it. Thank you so much.